What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing the New Orleans Saints versus Denver Broncos Week 12 matchups to watch. The fact that it's already Week 12 is so painful. Okay, but anyway, the first seed of the NFC and the New Orleans Saints are going to be taking a trip to an AFC team's house, the AFC West Denver Broncos, and it's going to be an interesting game. We all know what happened last time we played the Denver Broncos when he stepped out of bounds, but his cleat was white, so there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. You know, whatever. It's like every single team in the NFL, the Saints have a bad ref story that goes along with it, but it's cool. We're past that, okay? That game hurt because the cousin that taught me football, actually, we watched that game, so it was literally... I don't even know what to say about it. Yes, New Orleans Saints versus Denver Broncos Week 12 matchups to watch. Before I get into this video, I would like to ask you guys, if you're new, to go ahead and subscribe to the channel because we post new videos here about every day. By we, I mean me. So go ahead and leave a subscription. That would help me a bunch. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first matchup I'd like to watch is kind of a no-brainer. When this dude is at his peak and when he's healthy, he's in every matchup to watch video as one of the matchups because it's so important to both teams that he's either contained or does a good job, and that player is Michael Thomas. I put AJ Bouye for here. It could be Bryce Callahan. I'm not sure. The size difference between Callahan and Thomas is what drew me to put Bouye here because Bouye is a little bit bigger, even though he does get bullied by the big boy wide receivers. Denver doesn't have any big corners, so that's who I put here, AJ Bouye. So, first things first. Is Michael Thomas back? We saw flashes of every other year of Michael Thomas's career come out of him against the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday. He was obviously Taysom's target of choice, and it showed big time. The difference between Michael Thomas on Sunday and Mike in years past is that we've seen a handful of 15-plus yard route runs by Michael Thomas. Sean Payton obviously sees the difference in arm strength between Drew Brees and Taysom Hill, and it seems as if he's utilizing it. Slant man Michael Thomas is going to become a giant version of a slant man Michael Thomas. I'm obviously joking. The best wide receiver in the league has a very diverse route tree. Thank you very much. Michael Thomas had 9 receptions for 104 yards with an 11-yard average per reception, but man, there were a few chunk plays that were left out on the field on Sunday from Michael Thomas as he had drop-itis for the first time in his NFL career. I'm sure he's just getting back into the swing of things and getting back to actually playing football and being relied upon because he was out so many weeks with the injuries, and then when he came back, he was slowly introduced back into the offense. But on Sunday, we got a heavy load of Michael Thomas. We're going to need that moving forward. Sunday was a big step forward. It gets me excited for the things to come. Mike is on his way back, boys. AJ Bouye. So he was battling injury at the beginning of the season. He's back now, and like I said, it could easily be Bryce Callahan on Michael Thomas instead, but I don't really think it matters because there's not going to be a play ever where Michael Thomas is single covered, in my opinion. I don't think Vic Fangio's that dumb, but I do feel like AJ Bouye will be the primary coverage man on Michael Thomas. So in 5 games, AJ Bouye has allowed an average completion percentage of 72% per game. He has allowed 197 total yards throughout those 5 games. He has allowed 2 touchdowns, but he has also averaged a quarterback rating allowed of 120.6. Interestingly enough, though, he has very similar statistics to Falcons rookie cornerback AJ Terrell, who Michael Thomas just violated on live TV. It's kind of like if he played the same amount of time type of thing. Like when you look at it, their completion percentage allowed is very similar. Their QBR allowed is very similar. Not the touchdowns or the yardage because he doesn't have the same sample size, but in that category, it does not look too far apart. But yeah, Michael Thomas versus AJ Bouye, I feel like the winner of that matchup will likely be the winner of this game. Number 2, we have the Broncos run offense versus the New Orleans Saints run defense, and man, this is imperative for both teams without a doubt. If you're New Orleans, you want to force Drew Lock, who hasn't quite found his footing as a quarterback in the NFL, to throw the ball. If you're Denver, you want to establish a run game so that you don't have to completely rely on the arm of Drew Lock, who has been sadly hella hot and cold. It's really been on and off for Drew Lock. I really do want to see him succeed as a good quarterback in the NFL. That dude is so lovable, but it's just like you have to be consistent. And as it's only his second year, I do understand why he isn't very consistent. But yeah, if you're Denver, you want to run the ball, you want to open up the play action, you want to get the Saints defense to respect the run, which opens up more alleys down the field, which of course they're likely going to try to do. The Broncos relied heavily upon their run game last week in their victory over the Miami Dolphins, who, I'm going to be honest, I thought were pretty legit, and the Broncos just beat them 20-13, so that was a pretty interesting game there. Melvin Gordon in that game had 15 attempts for 84 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Phillip Lindsay had 16 attempts for 82 yards. Remember, he's undrafted out of Colorado. Hometown hero, dude. You know, we can't go a week without hearing that by Denver fans. The Broncos have to get the run game going if they want to win. There's no question about it, but that's going to be a challenge. The New Orleans Saints are sporting the second best run defense in the entirety of the NFL, only allowing 74.3 rushing yards per game, which is literally like taking 10 yards off of Melvin Gordon's total last week and then taking all 82 yards away from Phillip Lindsay, and that's what the Saints defense is allowing on an average game basis. In their last 3 games, though, New Orleans has done a fantastic job against the run, and they're only allowing 36.3 rushing yards per game. So, yeah, that defensive line is insane. This is a big matchup for both teams, so if the Broncos get a run game going, they can very easily win this game. So the New Orleans Saints have to be on their A game with stopping the run, because when you have a quarterback that isn't great, that is, you have to stop the run. You got to make them one-dimensional, and you have to dare Drew Lock to beat us through the air. It's the only way we're going to get a secured win in this situation. Third matchup I have to watch is Taysom Hill versus the Broncos defense. Now, notice how I said defense and not just secondary. We all know Taysom Hill isn't just a pure pocket passer like Drew Brees. He can escape the pocket, throw on the run, actually run. So I just think that this isn't just the secondary's problem that they have to deal with. This is the defensive line as well in regards to defending Taysom. When not decimated by injury, the Denver Broncos actually have a very good, one of the league's best defenses, but sadly they've been decimated by injury all year. One player specifically that kind of scares the piss out of me is safety Justin Simmons. He's been outright ridiculous this year. He's the scariest player on that Denver Broncos secondary. He already has 4 interceptions on the year, and I'm pretty sure he was involved in that play. That one play. Did he return it? Or did he block it? It was Justin Simmons and Will Parks. He already has 4 interceptions on the year. 3 of those 4 interceptions in his last 4 games. He hasn't allowed more than 69 yards in a single game, and he has held quarterbacks to an average of a 99 overall rating, quarterback rating. When you see here 99 quarterback rating, you're like, oh, that's not that good, but this dude has been playing alongside corners who are practice squad level at certain points in the season because of injury. He's been cleaning up a lot of mess that he didn't cause, and still is fantastic statistically. Denver has the 9th best pass defense in the entire league, only allowing 224.8 passing yards per game. The scary thing here is, over the last 3 games, the Denver Broncos have only allowed 197 passing yards per game. That's ridiculous. Their run defense, though, is a bit spotty, ranked 19th in the league. Taysom may have an opportunity here to break a few runs off. What hurts those chances, though, is that if you watch any film of the Denver Broncos playing run-first quarterbacks or run-heavy quarterbacks, Vic Fangio has loved doing absolutely nothing but engage aiding on some Madden shit whenever the hybrid quarterback has even a... he'll guess before the play. Do I think that in this situation, this hybrid quarterback is going to run? If he thinks yes, he's sending 8 people. It's ridiculous. He knows that hybrid quarterbacks aren't as good as throwing a football as, normal pure pocket passers are. But that may not work here. And I got one reason why. Taysom Hill was 8 for 8 against Atlanta's blitz last week, which is absolutely ridiculous. So in order to beat Denver in that regard, Taysom will have to keep up that poise that he had while facing the blitz from Atlanta. We will have to see a good game from Taysom here, or we really might not win. Another key for the Saints winning this game is running the ball, getting Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray going, but this is a 3-matchup show, and I had to cater to the fact that we have a brand new quarterback starting in the spotlight here. Second game for Taysom, a 4:05 game. I'm very excited to see what he makes out of it, and I'm really excited to see this matchup in general because, man, like I said, my cousin's a Broncos fan, and dude, We talk a lot of football, so this is very, very exciting. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure to like, comment, do all that fancy stuff, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Adios.
Zero gravity falling.